Hey everybody, this is Stick. I'm gonna sit here in front of you right now with nothing. I'm just gonna bear all. I'm 45 years old. I have stage 4 colorectal cancer and it has spread to my lungs. I got to the point now where I have a tickle and I'm coughing up red chunks in meat and stuff like that. I'm trying to get a hold of my brother for a while to the point where I've just given up. So, and I've had a couple questions I wanted to ask him. Nothing bad. It's just I talked to him a couple times. He knows I have cancer. I know that he knows that I have cancer. I don't know why he won't answer my phone calls. I figure maybe he's just trying to wait until me and mom were the last two people who know him, all his skeletons or anything like that, and he's raising his family with his son. Is never going to know who he is, because nobody's ever going to tell this kid anything bad about him, anyways. But I've got questions. When when I was growing up, we lived in a trailer park. I could draw you out a map. We had this tree out in the front yard, and I used to walk to school every day because mom used to walk with me to school every day, walk me to school and from school. And out in the front yard, it got struck by lightning, and we called it the paper tree. It freaking exploded. And where that trailer was, there was a fence that went around. And if you live from that trailer, there's a road going this way from behind it, and another road going behind it. If you go out this road this way, you come this way about 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 trailers down. There's another trailer. We live there too. There is another trailer right next door. A kid was selling a skateboard. My brother bought the skateboard, or my mom bought it for him, but it was a skateboard. It's one of them skateboards that had like a curve on one end and a curve on the other end. Then they got the skateboards, got the curve on the back. It's got the big old huge plastic thing on the back. Then there's the one it's got the same little things on the front. My brother got a skateboard, and I wanted a skateboard. So my mom bought the only skateboard that kid had left, which was a banana board. It was a really short, small board. It didn't have no back on it, no front on it. It was like shaped like a missile or an egg. It's just like big old round tires. It was real wide. I rode that thing everywhere. From that trailer that we lived in, the road went this way. And that same trailer we lived up there a long time ago, after we moved and came back, moved back into this trailer, the road goes this way. And the same road goes all the way back this way. And if you come out of the house where we're living now, you go right here, you go straight across, and when this road connects right here, there was this trailer. If you keep going down, that's where the mailboxes was. My brother got in some type of argument with some girl or something, I don't know, and she took a skateboard from him. She swung at him. When she swung at him, he go to block it because she was swinging towards between his legs. He hit his hand. I went over to go check on my brother to see what my brother was doing, and there was a whole bunch of kids there. And like they ran me off because my brother never hung out with me. He didn't want me to hang out. I was just a little kid. So they left, and like I left, turned around, and went back. And all of a sudden, I got hit in the back of the head with a rock. I fell down in the ditch. And some of the crazy stuff happened to me, and it took years and years later to realize what it was. I laid in that ditch and flopped like a fish and couldn't control anything, and I pissed all over myself. I was pissing everywhere. And I got up and went crying and went home. And I always wondered why my brother either threw that rock at me and hit me in the back of the head and tried to get rid of me, or why did he do anything to the person that did that? And I didn't realize later until like after I got out of the military and I was living in Alabama with my mom. My mom was on like 13 different types of medication to the point where like she was just taking pills that these doctors was giving it to her. To the point where she started having seizures. And I seen her have the first seizure I ever seen her have in her life. I literally broke my neck running from the house we was at up the hill. Dude, we didn't have steps yet. I jumped on that front porch. I went in the house, grabbed a wooden spoon, come back, and I was crying. I had boogers, I had snot and everything, and I was talking about, oh, it's my mom. I don't want to lose my mom. She's all I got and everything. And they say, don't talk like that. Don't talk like that. And I didn't realize that she could hear everything I was saying. And then I realized it popped in my head. That's what was going on with me. I had a seizure. I literally had a seizure when you or whoever that was that threw that rock at me and hit me in the head. Pissed all over myself. I never said anything to you, but I know you remember because that's exactly what happened that day. That was the day that you got hit between the legs and you hit your hand, but that girl took that skateboard from you. Another time was we was living in the big house, the White House. I remember coming up the steps and I come around the room and I walked in the room and you was sitting there jerking like this and there was this brown mass right there. I took off running and I ran down the damn steps and I told Dad. And later on, you said, I was just cleaning it. And the whole time, I never confronted you and talked to you about it. When I was later, like maybe in my 20s or so, it hit me when I was thinking about it. You thought that I'm pretty sure that you thought I was telling on you for doing something that I didn't even know existed at the time. All I know is I come up the damn steps and you had this animal that was in your, just little furry animals on your, you was holding in your lap and it biting you and you're jerking your hand to get away from it because it was biting you. And I ran downstairs and I told Dad that you was getting attacked by an animal. Now, I don't know if he told you that or not. And I've never confronted you about it. But I told him that you was getting attacked by an animal. I didn't tell him you was, man, I'm not even 10 years old yet. How do I even know what you were doing? I know what I think you were doing now or back then. You was handling your business. But I didn't even know that stuff existed, Wes. I didn't even know that existed. So I don't know if you was in all that stuff. And I always wanted to know why. I had this incident the other day. It's actually yesterday. I go to Mom's house all the time. She lives a couple doors up. I went there doing her trash. I took my drink with me. My drink is coffee right here, but I took this up with me. It was tea. I opened up a fridge, which I don't go to Mom's cupboard or nothing like that. I went to the fridge and I opened it up. Mom had nothing. She had a freaking mason jar, which is not a mason jar. It's like a mayonnaise jar, a Duke's mayonnaise jar with a yellow lid with like this much from the top. She had milk in it. She didn't have a goddamn thing in her freaking refrigerator. No food, period. I opened up her freezer. Nothing. Nothing. Just like fruit flies. Mom had no food. I opened her cupboard. She didn't have any food in her cupboards either. She said she'd be living off of mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese. I'm sweating, man. Mom didn't have anything. I come down to the house and I called the rent man and did Cash App. I paid $60 for $50 on a Cash App. And I put 30 of it on Mom, and she got her to buy a whole bunch of food. Told the neighbors about it because I had to go take the money to the person, not to the rent man, but to the lady who takes the rent payment while the rent man's not here. She got mad. She told me to tell Mom that she was so upset with her that, did you tell your mom I'm very mad at her? So Mom called her and she told her. I was like, Mom got upset that I told her. I was like, Mom, I'm telling the truth, man. You should have told somebody you didn't have no food. You're 72 years old, multiple sclerosis. You've never driven a vehicle in your life. Used to make fun of her when we changing out engines. Like, hit the brake. The car would rev up. Oh, the other brake. Because that was the standing joke. Mom didn't know which was the brake or not. I don't have a lot of time left, man. I've always wanted to know these questions and answers to these questions, and you never told me. And I mean, I'll take that back. It's not that you never told me. I just never asked you. And I've been calling you. I called you a couple times, and you won't answer my phone calls anymore. So I was like, hey, I'll just make a video here. I got pants on, just in case you was wondering. But I'm here, and I was just like, now it's on YouTube. Hopefully, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just not. It's just me and Mom are the only two people you have left before all your skeletons have disappeared. You're going to keep your family. I don't care what you do with your son. He's your son. I've never met him before. It doesn't really matter. But you can do whatever you want. He's yours. And it's just, he's never going to really truly know who you are until he meets your family. And if he never meets your family, he's just bury everything. Once me and Mom's gone, you're free to do whatever you want. It's your life. But hopefully this will last forever. All I ask is somebody to like this. I'm not even asking for a subscribe because I'm not going to monetize or anything like that. But I just like somebody to like this video because I want it to get around. Maybe it'll get to you. I don't even know if you do YouTube or anything like that or anything. I don't know anything because you just won't. I've never had any bad blood against you. You just trying to get rid of me because I'm passing away and you just want it to be gone. I've never heard my nephew's voice. Mom's starving to death and you just won't call. You won't just. I don't know, man. I just want to know why. You've talked to me one time and you told me you had to get away. And oh, another thing. When we was living down in Alabama and you come down with Katrina, you said you was behind this diesel truck, a semi truck. And it said, "Show me your boobs" on it. And you pulled up the side. And she lifted up her shirt, showed her the boobs. You guys slept. Remember that night you slept in my bed, and I slept over on the little couch right next in the corner. You was going to town, man. You was just handling your business like crazy. And all of a sudden, you kept calling out my name when you got done. Calling out my name, calling out my name. I was only like 14 or 15 years old. I didn't have a driver's license yet. I know. I was scared to death. I didn't say nothing. I was wide awake the whole time. I knew what you were doing, but at the exact same time, I really didn't know what you were doing, but I did know what you were doing. I just want to let you know I was awake the whole time. And you kept calling out my name. He's like, "Oh, he's asleep." I wasn't asleep, man. I never told you that. I never was asleep. And that time when me and the girl went up there to Charlotte, where you was at in Commonwealth, and I'll go to walk up to the door and I go to knock on the door, but I didn't. I peeked in first, and you was on the couch. You was going crazy handling your business, and you told me why you was handling your business. The dad came out from Arizona and picked me up in my '89 Ford Mustang and drove from North Carolina all the way out to Arizona. I had a heart with Dad, and I was crying and everything. I told Dad why you was doing what you was doing, and that crazy woman Dad was living with, and she went in there and called you and told you that I told Dad that specific thing. And Dad talked to you on the phone, and he handed the phone to me, and I told you I loved you, and your exact words were, "Do you? Do you really love me?" You don't know what was going through my head. I thought I was losing my brother. What you was doing was very seriously. That was a life-threatening thing. I didn't know any better. Of course, I've done that later on in life, and I know better now. But when you hear your brother doing something that all you know it will kill him, what do you expect, man? You're my brother. You're all I got. And I don't even have you. I'm not even going to tell you I love you or anything like that, whether you know it or not, but it's just, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to die without saying goodbye.